Hi, I welcome you to this third episode of Bach Flower Remedies with Dr. Amit. In the first episode, we saw a basic introduction about Bach Flower remedies and how they can be used for patients as well as in day-to-day routine. In the second episode, we discussed about the concept of positive qualities and negative qualities of every remedy, which helps us to remember the remedy as well as to select a proper remedy for every case. If you want to see those episodes, do go to our channel and you can see both these episodes. Do subscribe so that you will get the next episodes as well without fail in your inbox. In this episode, we are going to start with the actual remedy, and the first remedy that we are going to see is chicory. So we are not going to go alphabetically. We will be going at random with learning of these 38 remedies. But why chicory? Is the reason is uh, I have been practicing these remedies for last more than 15 years, but in last couple of years I have found a different perspective towards looking at chicory. So earlier I was using it in a very restricted manner. Now I have been using chicory more often with a different perspective. Though the positive and negative qualities they remain the same, I have found out a different perspective towards looking at the negative and the positive qualities, and I've been using that differently. So I wanted to share that first with all of you. Chicory primarily is a remedy for overcare. So when we give chicory, our intention is to help the person to rise beyond himself or herself and to love unconditionally. So that's the positive quality that chicory gives. So the typical book picture of chicory has a selfish love, the love which has a selfish motive, possessivity, a lot of possessivity which comes out of that love. So a mother or a child who loves his toys, who loves her son, who loves somebody, and then they are possessive about it. They won't allow anybody to share that particular thing. uh, there is a false love as well. False love is they will love and they will care for you, but that love and care might be false. It might have a motive behind it. So love with motive. So till the time the motive is going on, they will love and they will care for you. Once the motive gets achieved, they will just throw you away. So that kind of love and care is what chicory represents. So chicory are all the people who are selfless, who are selfish, who are completely self-centered. They are diplomatic, possessive people who will only think about their own benefit at the cost of other people. So people like the typical politicians, I won't say all politicians are chicory, but the typical politician people who will obviously give you a lot many uh, offers that if you select them, then they will give a number of things, but then later on they might not keep their promises. If you have seen the movie Beta, then the character which is played by Aruna Irani is a completely chicory. She cares and loves a lot towards her son, who is being portrayed by Anil Kapoor, but she is extremely possessive about him, and she always have a motive of completely dominating and keeping him under her control. That's the typical chicory possessivity. That's a typical chicory love as well. Salesmen are usually the people who always have that motive behind talking good to you or talking very sweet with you, because they always want to sell something. So that's the another chicory example. But this is about adults. If you go to a birthday party and if you observe a child who always is looking out for a bigger piece of cake, the child who is constantly looking out for a gift which is better than other gifts, that child can will need chicory. So these are the people who they might be elder siblings or younger siblings or any at any order, but they always would like to get the best for themselves, and they won't care whether the other people are getting anything or not. They will always be thinking about themselves. So this was the typical bookish picture of chicory that I was using for 15 years. So whenever I used to get people with selfish motives or this possessivity and false love, I used to think about chicory. But this is how the positive negative qualities help me to understand a more wider perspective towards looking at chicory. So if you see negative qualities, being selfish and being possessive is the negative quality of chicory. So by what do you mean by negative quality? Obviously, you can see the earlier video. which is the episode 2. But what is negative quality is these are the qualities, selfishness and possessivity, which can get reduced if you give chicory to a person. And positive qualities are being selfless and thinking beyond self. So these are the positive qualities which gets increased or which gets boosted if you give chicory to a person. So when you give chicory, the selfishness and possessivity reduces, as well as the selfless attitude or thinking beyond self that increases. Now this thinking beyond self uh, was something that gave a different perspective towards using this remedy. I have been using now for last couple of years. I have been using chicory in many patients who usually do not show any kind of selfishness. They do not show any kind of false love. They do not show any kind of possessivity. It is not mandatory that whenever you are prescribing chicory, you should, or for that matter, any remedy, you should always have all negative and all the positive qualities in that person. You can just prescribe on a positive quality, or you can just prescribe on a negative quality. We will explore these things further in our next videos. Uh, but I've been using chicory to all those patients who are uh, what how we can put it. They are constantly absorbed in with their own sufferings. So a lady who is suffering with her knee pain, she will only talk about her pain. She will only talk about her problems. She will only talk about uh, her difficulties. Whenever you are listening to it, you always feel what she should be thinking beyond herself. If you have problems, if you are talking about my house is on the second floor, and then I take a lot of it's a very painful to climb up to the second floor and all those things. You should think about people who stay on third floor and fifth floor, and they also they don't have an elevator, and they so it's like you feel like when your problems are bigger than any problems in the world, when you feel uh, as a doctor, as a third person, because these problems are not as ferocious as you are showing. People in the world are facing lot many other problems which are much worse than these problems, and you should think about them. When somebody complains about I'm not having an AC in my house, at least you have a fan. There are people who do not have even have a fan, and they stay in a very hot and humid climate. So why are you complaining? Why are you complaining what you don't have? Why are you complaining about your own life and your own difficulties and portraying that these difficulties are bigger than other people? Just think about other people. So basically, what we want to give to that person, what we want to add in that person's life is thinking beyond self and thinking about other people. What I have found is whenever I give chicory to these people, their pain reduced, their complaining kind of attitude that reduced, and they said that yeah, it pains, but it pains lesser than other people, lesser than the other day. So their previous visit day. So this is chicory. This is using the positive quality of chicory, of going beyond self. So they were not selfish people. They were not possessive people. They were good people, and they had a very good heart. But only problem that I saw with them was over concerned, over absorbed, over obsessive about their own complaints, where I felt that what will relieve them is if they go beyond self, if they think about some other thing apart from that, then that can. So whenever we feel that a person should think beyond their complaints, those repeated thoughts of uh, their own problems, try chicory. So when you give chicory, you are helping that person to rise beyond self, and then if the person is selfish, you can also give chicory to love unconditionally. So this is chicory for me. This is a completely different chicory for me now after uh, for the last couple of years. I hope you have liked this video. I hope you have understood chicory. Obviously, this is the a part of chicory. We will be exploring all these remedies in a wider perspective. I might found something else about chicory, and obviously I will create a new video for that. But if you want to see such videos, if you want to learn flower remedies with me, then do subscribe to our channel to get regular videos on health, homeopathy, and Bach flower remedies. Please let us know what you would love to see on our channel through the comment section, or you can just log into my website and you can send an email, and we'll try to get all those content on this channel. So we'll meet in the next episode with a different remedy or some other practical tip to learn and to practice batch flower therapy. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.